supposed to be talking about Crewe, but it's impossible after the weekend not to start with the Joey Beauchamp stuff.
Yeah, I don't think this is the time for us to be speaking about the game tomorrow. I don't know if it's an apology or not, but we won the game on Saturday. Maybe a bit of a reflection on what happened.
Yeah.
We did the interviews. Obviously, we were ecstatic with what we'd done and how great the fans were and how well the players played. And then sadly, you come and spoke to me and sort of broke the news to me. And
this is hard because I'm behind the camera. This is your interview. I didn't want to ruin the moment for those fans who were brilliant, for you and the players who were brilliant. I wanted to get that game boxed off before we started talking about it, and obviously I knew it. The minute you knew, you were straight back into the dressing room to the players, weren't you? I mean, they had to know.
Well, obviously at that particular time there was a question: do we speak publicly about it? Once we knew, at that particular stage, it wasn't common knowledge that some family members didn't know.
Yeah.
And the respect that we have first and foremost moving forward is for Joey's family and close friends, not for reasons that we want to be the ones speaking about something. It wasn't right, and it was then my duty to tell the players what would have broke within probably 2 hours, just so they knew, just out of a massive amount of respect for Joey's family.
Yeah, we can't have them celebrating and jumping around all over social media with what happened, so it's the right thing. Some of them were devastated, weren't they? I'm not going to name names, I don't think, but some of them were definitely in tears.
Yeah, there were a few people in the dressing room in tears, and it was people who have known him, people who have got to know him over a period of time, people who were Oxford based as well. It was a difficult time, and in my time here, obviously we had Mickey Lewis this year. We've had Jim as well, sadly a few years ago, and now probably the most iconic of them all, 2 kids. We've just been having a bit of a debate and an argument about where your frustrations lie with him not playing for England. And
he should have done. I'll speak for the fans. He was good enough to play for England. I spoke to Dennis Smith, Brian Horton yesterday. He should have played at a high level. I think that's my frustration.
But this is what makes Joey's life that he led quite special for him, because he did play for his England, and that was Oxford United. And this is why this is the most iconic person this club's had. In what I've spoke to people and what I've read and what you've seen and what I already knew before I came here. That you mentioned Matt Letizia earlier to Southampton. I'm not using other people as a reference point for Joe. Not about that, but this was the be all and end all. This was what he wanted to do. Obviously, the moment he left, he lost a lot of who he was, and that's never to turn your nose apart. Growing up in any city, your dream is to play for that club if you love football. And for him to be here to ITS, and I watched a few interviews yesterday that he did, and his pride in the fact he wore that yellow shirt so many times and scored so many goals, and he always is as a winger. It just shows you that that's why his life needs to be celebrated by us. We go into competition, into games week in, week out, but family and love and friends, they override all of what our sport stands for. But equally what we stand for as a sport and as a football club is a unity and one extended family. And the hurt that this will bring to people. And I read messages yesterday that the fans are putting on about how difficult they're going to find it and how they grew up and he was their hero. These are great moments to talk about their hero. And propel them to a status, that legendary status, to make sure that the kids of this now new generation and generations past this know who he is, who he was. And like I say, that when people sadly pass away, physically, I get that, and he'd be missed by so many people. but the legacy of him and the memories that he's left are for many other people's lifetimes.
I said on Saturday that we would find a fitting way to mark it, and people have talked about stands at the new ground, whatever. We've just had a discussion. I'm going to explain this. It's 8:30 Monday morning. It's a bit early to say for definite what we're going to do, but there has to be a way of marking it, doesn't there?
We will. Yeah. We will in the right way. We already have 1 or 2 ideas. The minute applause next Saturday. That every academy player will try and be there, and the reason for that is that he was one of them. Yeah. He was the one stood there as a young boy watching on his heroes, and wanting to aspire to be that next player playing for a team that he loved. So that'll be the first phase of it, obviously, that we want to get right, and there'll be something at this training ground 100%. And people say, oh, you've had Jamie or Mickey, but he was a local lad. Yeah. Who fulfilled his ambition to play for Oxford United. Yeah. I seen him not too long ago. Many conversations with him over the last 3.5, near 4 years, and a lot of conversations with him. And he always liked the fact that how many times I played wingers. And it's one of them sort of. He's one of them people that you just look at with tremendous respect. For me. My players, all of the staff at Oxford United, we want to send our thoughts, our wishes, our prayers, our condolences to his family. Yeah. He's someone that we will certainly celebrate his life. There's so many other factors to this to go into right now that we will go into later on down the line that are important that his life inspires the next generation and educates people. Yeah. And you know where I'm coming from there. This is something that's really deep rooted in what we try and believe in at this football club, and the opportunity for people to come and speak to people and talk to people is something that we've got to do better at. Yeah. And I hope that Joey's name will live long in the memory of every Oxford United fan. I know, yeah. But it's our duty of care to educate the youngsters of today. Well, sadly, the live games that we have today, there's not as many of yesteryear. To see how great he was, just speaking to Craig and Chris Short this morning, and Chris Short, he was a nightmare to play, and what way he was going. Shorty remembers when he was coming through. So he will be loved forever here. His name will constantly be spoken about. The legacy that he's left and the memories that he's left for young people of Oxfordshire will continue, and this football club will do its utmost to make sure that Joey Beauchamp's name will be forever sort of indebted to him for what he's done. And for me and all the staff and the players and everybody here, we send our love and wishes to his family.